Hello, today I'm going to be talking about the match between Watford and Aston Villa on Saturday for the start of the new Premier League season. So I'm just going to go through my predictions for Villa and what I expect from the season. My predictions for Watford and the team sheet and injury news. And I'm also going to be talking about a few of Watford signings as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So obviously the big talking point about Villa is that we've lost our key player Jack Grealish, but with that money we've signed Danny Ings, Leon Bailey and Emiliano Buendia. So in pre-season, for the last pre-season game, we've actually gone with the 4-4-2, which is what everyone probably expected us to do. But from what I've been told, Watkins is out, could be out for 4 weeks, as he's tweaked a ligament in his knee, and he's also got a hernia which they're going to operate on straight away because the recovery time is around the same for both injuries. So it could be without Watkins, despite Smith saying that he's hopeful, which obviously we know he's done this before with other players such as Ross Barkley and Jack Grealish last season, when he talked about how Grealish was going to be back, he's going to be back, and then he didn't play until 6 weeks later. So Watkins could be out. Now I feel like the team, if Watkins wasn't out, would be Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Mings, Targett, McGinn, Nakamba, and then obviously Buendia if he was fit. Buendia on the right, and maybe Bailey on the left if we had him, which we don't, so probably Young or Philogene Biddus. And actually Buendia at cam, Traore on the right, maybe El Ghazi on the left, or maybe Philogene Biddus. And then Watkins and Ings up front. But with Watkins potentially out for this game, I think it'll probably be a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Probably a 4-3-3 because we've not really got anyone experienced enough or of the quality enough to play at that number 10 role. So we've got Ramsey that can probably only play at that 10 role. So it'll probably be a 4-3-3. And if it's a 4-3-3, I probably think it'll be Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Mings as captain, which they haven't announced yet, but I do expect Mings to be captain. And then McGinn and Nakamba is probably the best midfield partnership at the moment, although I do think we need a better midfielder, more of a beast, someone that's better at tackling, someone that can progressive with the ball, which Nakamba can win it, but I don't think he's really got that quality to get the ball quickly enough to the attack. So it'll probably be McGinn and Nakamba, and then depending if Buendia is fit, he'll probably play on the right wing. But if it's a 4-3-3, it'll probably be McGinn, Nakamba, and probably Sanson, because that's the only other midfielder we've got. And then on the right, Buendia. On the left, maybe El Ghazi or Philogene Biddus, who's been brilliant in pre-season. And then Danny Ings up front. So I do think we might have a slightly weakened squad on Saturday because Leon Bailey's only starting training tomorrow, and then Buendia is got a slight hip problem. He's just been training at the gym at Bodymore Heath, but so he could be out as well. So if we're without Buendia and we're out Buendia and we're without Watkins, then I think it will probably be Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Mings, Targett, McGinn, Sanson, Nakamba, with Nakamba playing that deep line playmaker role. And then it could easily be Traore and El Ghazi, Young and Biddus. So yeah. So I do think we'll win, but I think it could be a tighter game, especially with Buendia being out. And also Watkins, who hopefully Buendia will be one of our key players. And obviously Watkins was a key player for us last season with 14 goals. But I'm just glad that we've got Danny Ings now as an option. Who's a quality striker. No disrespect to Wesley or Davis, but they're not at the level that Ings is, where he's a proven Premier League striker. So if Watkins is out for 4 weeks, we've got someone to rely on, providing he doesn't get injured, for 4 weeks until Watkins comes back, and then you can switch to a two up top. So for my prediction, I do think we're going to win. I think we're going to win 2-1, but I think it's going to be a really tight game, and I do expect it might take a little bit of time for us to settle in with the new signings, and obviously settling into life without Jack, and that's going to be vital in how we go through the season, because if we adapt quickly to playing without Jack, then it could be a brilliant start. If it takes a little bit of time to realise that Jack isn't there and you can't rely on him coming back from injury or whatever now that he's gone, then we might get off starting off to a flyer. Now, obviously, Watford have signed quite a few players, but a lot of them are in striker, so I have no idea who's going to play up front. They've obviously got Fletcher, which is a really weird signing from Middlesbrough, and I don't really think he's the quality of striker that's going to keep him up, whether he's a backup or he's a starter or not. Then they've signed Emmanuel Dennis, who's a decent signing for a newly promoted team, whether he's going to start. And then you've got Deeney, who always seems to score against us, so even if he don't start, he'll probably score if he comes off the bench or whatever. And then they've got Gray as well, so they've got a few options up front. And then obviously on the wings they've got Ismail Assar, who Villa have been linked to, and many other clubs, and he's obviously got the pace that obviously destroyed us in the 1920 season. Obviously we had a worse team then. Really inexperienced to the Prem, which was the problem, and then Sarr just caught us on the break. But I do think that could be a problem again. Obviously, if Cash and Target are bombing on, and Traore does struggle with tracking back, and they could easily catch us on the break from that perspective. And then they've got obviously Will Hughes in the mid, who we've obviously been linked with as well. So yeah, I do think we'll win 2-1. I think it'll be a tight game. Tougher than everyone expects because Brandia's not there fit yet, but Bailey's only just going into training on Friday. So I think we'll win 3-1. Now, my expectations for the season, I think a good finish, and what I'd expect is I think we'll probably finish 8th. Now, we could easily finish 5th, 6th and break into that top 6, but I just think